Lemon laws are American state laws that provide a remedy for purchasers of cars and other consumer goods in order to compensate for products that repeatedly fail to meet standards of quality and performance. So, if you bought a new car and it doesn't live up to the hype, it's a lemon? Today, we're going to rewrite the lemon laws. Because I cannot think of another piece of produce that consistently delivers day in and day out, week after week, year after year, on the promise of improving everything you cook and bake. Lemons. The lemons that we all buy at the supermarket are one of two common varieties, Eureka and Lisbon, though neither are likely to be labeled as such. These days, you can also pretty easily get your hands on Meyer lemons, which are not a true lemon, but rather a hybrid fruit. Meyers are sweeter, less acidic, and more aromatic than true lemons. We'll get back to them in a minute. Now, let's take a look at a beautiful lemon specimen. Now, just like with people, there's a neck end and a nipple end. If we slice this beauty in half crosswise, we can take a look at its three main components. The outside is the epicarp, which we commonly refer to as the zest. Just below the zest is the mesocarp, also known as the pith. Now together, those make up the peel of the lemon. Beneath all of that protective coating is, you guessed it, the endocarp. The fleshy endocarp has its own fascinating structure, made up of tons of little vesicles packed with juice that burst and release their tart goodness. Now let's get the pith out of the way first. In the kitchen, we generally try to do everything we can to avoid the pith, because it's bitter and really not much else. It is, however, very high in pectin, and it's a source for making commercial pectin. Now let's get into that juice. Lemon juice is one of the more acidic liquids we turn to in the kitchen, falling between 2 and 3 on the pH scale. It is a rich source of citric acid. On average, lemon juice actually contains more citric acid than lime juice, but is often perceived as being less tart because it contains almost twice as much sugar as lime juice. Lemon juice has the power to brighten up pastas, sauces, grilled meats, roasted vegetables, you name it. It's a seasoning nearly as fundamental as salt in cooking. Now, the last thing I want to do in the lemon episode is tell you to use less lemons in your cooking, but here's the thing. Lemons are kind of expensive. For the times when you're adding lemon juice, primarily for the acidity that it brings, you may want to consider another option, citric acid powder. You can find it at the grocery store where it's sold for use in preserves, or you can buy it on the internet. Then you just toss it in your cabinet where it will never go bad and you'll never find yourself without that acidic punch. And here's how to use it. For every tablespoon of lemon juice that you want to substitute, you add 1/8 of a teaspoon of citric acid powder and a tablespoon of water. That's it. But most of the time when we reach for a lemon, we're looking for far more than just acidity, which is one of the 5 tastes that we register entirely on our tongue and surfaces in our mouths. We also want beautiful lemon flavor. In those instances, definitely use the juice, but don't stop there. When we taste lemon flavor, it's because volatile aromatic compounds have made it through our mouth into a back channel into our nasal passage. And those aromatic compounds, they're found in by far the highest concentration in the oil-rich zest. You know, the epicarp. We can actually see these oils with a fun little cocktail technique. First, we'll kill the lights, light a match, and switch to slow-mo. Then we just squeeze and let lemon oil fly into that flame and combust. Man, that's pretty, and it smells incredible too. Incorporating lemon zest into a dish brings bold lemon flavor. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, let's go to the kitchen. Now, before we get cooking, let's do a little ode to the rasp style grater, which is something I have a really hard time saying when the camera is rolling. Rasp style grater. Rapper style grater. Rasp style graters changed the entire zesting game. Before they escaped the workshop and made it into the kitchen, you'd use this side of the box grater, which is just designed to destroy knuckles, and you lose so much of that good zest to all those little crevices. Boo. The rasp magically gets all of the zest while leaving all of the pith behind. You can do it like this, where you brace the rasp on the cutting board and slide the lemon over it like this. That works well. But a few years ago, Cooks Illustrated senior editor Lon Lamb showed me a different way to do it, and I've never gone back. I find it faster and easier to hold the grater like this and spin the fruit as I work from top to bottom. Now that we got a big old pile of aromatic zest, we'll roll the lemon back and forth to get those juices flowing, cut it in half, and then burst some vesicles with this citrus press. You can also use a citrus reamer for this, or go full multitasking tools only and grab those tongs. And now that we've got a big old pile of aromatic zest and a big old bowl of tart bracing lemon juice, let's make my favorite lemon dessert. This is Cooks Illustrated Deputy Food Editor Andrea Geary's lemon olive oil tart. This starts with the easiest ever crust. There's no cutting in cold butter or anything because there's no butter. We make a pat in the pan crust with little more than sugar, flour, salt, extra virgin olive oil, and water. Done. Now for the lush, sunny, lemony filling. We've got sugar, flour, and salt in our saucepan, and then we'll just whisk in our eggs and egg yolks. Oh, quick aside here. That beautiful yellow color in lemon curd, that's due entirely to the yolks, not the lemon. Okay, back to it. We'll just whisk in our epicarb and the juice from the endocarb and cook until thickened. Then we whisk in copious amounts of extra virgin olive oil and then strain it in slow-mo into our tart shell. Now we all know that lemon and olive oil play pretty well together, but there's actually a really special reason that it works so well in this recipe. The dairy proteins in butter, which would be the common choice for curd, actually bind to the flavor compounds in lemon and mute its flavor in curd. Not so with olive oil, so we taste more of the lemon. And that's what we're all here for, right? After a short stint in the oven, we can see that we have made our very own sun. Let's bask in it. Before I dig into this tart, I've got one more thing I want to make, and that is preserved lemons. Packed with salt and fermented, preserved lemons and the luscious liquid that they sit in are a powerhouse ingredient in the kitchen. Toss a wedge, pith and all, into a tagine or stew as it bubbles away, whisk some of the juice into a vinaigrette or pan sauce, or chop up the zest and toss it into an herb sauce. You get intense aroma, bright acidity, salt, and some lovely complexity from that fermentation. And they couldn't be simpler to make. I like using Meyer lemons for this for their softer acidity and that lovely aroma. I told you we're coming back to them. We just slice them like this, pack them with salt like this, and put them in a jar like this. Then we just pop them in the fridge and let them sit until they are glossy, softened, and wholly transformed. It takes about 6 weeks. And man, are they beautiful. We all know the saying, if life hands you lemons, make lemonade. What is that about? If life hands you lemons, good for you. If life hands you lemons, celebrate. If life hands you lemons, you should make every food you cook that much better, brighter, more aromatic, more flavorful. If life hands you lemons, make lemon olive oil tart. If life hands you lemons, make lemon bars. If life hands you lemons, make chicken piccata. If life hands you lemons, make a whiskey sour. If life hands you lemons, this is how to eat lemons. Hey guys, just a reminder, if life does hand you lemons, over on cooksillustrated.com, we've got over 2,300 recipes that call for lemons. So you don't have to make lemonade, you don't have to hurt yourself. So go check it out, and don't forget to hit subscribe. See you next time.